Hi guys, welcome to a brand new video. So myself Shaktivel. So I'm gonna start with installing in Docker today so that we can run n8n, which is a no code platform. And why do we install Docker? So that we can run n8n on it, as n8n is a no code platform that runs on cloud, so it requires pricings and which most of us are not ready to afford them. So we try to work on with an free method for running all the workflows that we create. And in the upcoming videos we'll be having on how to create an AI agent, and how we can create workflows, and how the whole execution process of any automation, AI automation that traverse on. And we will also try to write code in n8n and then execute them. So for now we'll be starting out with installing Docker into your desktop. So let me start. So this is the Docker desktop which I have already installed. So you can go and click on the browser and search for Docker desktop, and when you click on the first link on it, so you'll end up in a website like this. So you don't need to sign in for downloading in Docker desktop. You can just go on with an download Docker desktop here, and then choose your uh, OS accordingly. So I'm going for Windows AMD 64. So basically mine is Windows. So when I click, I get an exe pop out here. So on installing exe pop out with required permissions that you have to be giving it. So after setting up, you get an Docker started like this. So you have an sign in process where you have to do all of them, and once you sign in, you get the Docker desktop window like this. So to get n8n into your Docker, so you go and search for images, and in images you go search for n8n.io, which is already searched here. When you go, you have something like this one. So you add them, you just pull and request and add it. And when you let's say now I'm gonna run this now, and you have an optional settings here, so which you have to name in container. Let's say n8n underscore sample. So I'm gonna name it like this, and then there are actually two ports where you can run this. You can run it with 5678, or you can run this thing with 5680. uh, it depends on the desktop that we use. For me, 5680 works, and for you might some 5678 might work. So do it accordingly. Now when I'm running this, yeah, you have an n8n sample here, for which is already running, and I have run that thing in 2 seconds. So it takes some time. In the meanwhile, so using n8n, we can also write coding nodes where we can uh, coding nodes and create nodes where it has to do any specialized task that you want. So that's about n8n, and which is already informed to you, and that's why you're looking into this video. So you need to wait for a couple of seconds for it to give you uh, an port emptied. So that's 5678, which doesn't work here. So I have to go for 5680, which I'm clicking on this localhost. Yeah, see, localhost 5680, and now for me it runs. For a few of them it runs here for 5678. uh, so that's the port where n8n runs. So you have to give your mail ID for this, yeah, and your password for that. And any of the letters to be capital. It has a couple of criteria that you're gonna fulfill, and it asks you to customize n8n for you. Let's uh, mostly this appears like whenever you start an n8n every time. So let's say education, as I'm a student here, role for data science here, and then automation for myself, and how big is your company. I don't know why does it ask. I'm not using an agent for work. I actually got to know this via LinkedIn, so I'm going to get started. Yeah, you can receive a free license, but I'm just skipping this thing for now. So this is then uh, and workflow area, and what do you say, in dashboard for n8n, where you have your uh, where you're logged in and you can create workflows here. So there are yeah, so on creating workflows, so you get something like this. So you can name your workflow. So let me say uh, sample here, sample. So I'm gonna create a sample, and every time you're supposed to save this thing here. So let's say and in n8n you always start with a trigger. So anything that happens here, you do that with a trigger. And there are nodes in n8n. So basically this is a node, so you call this as a node, and there are various types of nodes. That is, you have a trigger node that basically triggers any of your actions. Let's say when a mail comes into your inbox, it just triggers. So using that trigger, so you can do it. So every workflow, everything that you want to start starts with a trigger node here. So we also have an AI nodes, where has open AI nodes, and then LLM chains, information extractor, sentimental analysis, text classifier, out of which you probably use AI agents and open AI, information extractor, and mostly all of these we'll be using. And then when it goes to action in an app, so we have a lot of apps here. We have an agile CRM, uh, we have an ad table here. Um, we have AWS requirements here. We have AWS S3 SN, and then you have Azure here, and a lot of stuff. uh, a lot of day-to-day using required applications such as WhatsApp, GitHub, Git, and then Google. All the applications that is linked with Google, like Google Sheets, Google Calendar, Drive, and every other stuff. Yeah, and so we also have uh, data transformation. So you can anything like in a normal program that has like if conditions, or probably when you want to merge, or you want two sets of data coming into a node, we can use that by aggregate, merge, and then summarize. You can also handle all types of files by using compression, convert to file, and other file types. And then yeah, you have also a very interesting one called code. So this is a node that creates a code area where you can code on this, as n8n uh, uh, is based on Node.js, so we can code on anything, and it's an very interesting application. And then this is the flow. So basically, if and then do post statements, and then compare data sets, switch, stop and error, and all these stuffs are there in the um, uh, in n8n. And we can also add multiple triggers to a workflow. So let's say all the, yeah, webhook is something which you can integrate your uh, current application or the workflow with the website on. So that's where we can use webhook calls, where we can call. And then there are a lot of on-app events also. As I said, let's search for Gmail for now. Gmail, yeah, I have Gmail, and then I have triggers on message received, and then I have a lot of actions to do via Gmail. And for every application you probably need an code. So let's say, let me do for this, and then it asks you for a credential, and then you create new credential. You have to have an client ID and then a client secret code. This is for Gmail. And then let's say, and one more important thing in n8n is that it doesn't get saved on its own. So you have to, if you want it to get saved regularly, so you're gonna go for an upgraded version, which I'm not doing here. So I just have to save automatically by pressing Ctrl S. Probably I'll go to saving here. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do with n8n, which we'll be looking into the upcoming videos. And so this is for now. Yeah, thank you.